two freshmen as talented as Ryan Foje and Michael Fasusi, what do they have to show you in camp to maybe earn your trust to get some playing time?
It's really like anybody, just consistency. It's not the flash things that they do. It's not the freaky athleticism. It's doing things right over and over. And that's not any position. You know what I mean? As of right now, they're going to play. Whether they start or not, we'll see. I think we're in the 9th practice, but they've proved enough to, have a chance to get on the field. And, I think we've got, some pretty good competition, especially interior right now. So, the biggest thing with every guy is being consistent day in and day out. And especially, when you're going against a really good defense, a really good D-line, you're going to take some lumps, but you got to learn from it and not make the same mistakes over and over again.
Billy, last year you had some tough luck with injuries and things.
I don't even want to talk about
injuries. But some of those guys played, right? And
Yeah.
they got good experience. How's that going to help this unit this year?
Well, obviously, experience on the field doing it, practice field. And again, we're lucky we get to go against a really good schematic defense and then really good D-line. So that should obviously get us ready for it. But there's nothing like being on the field in a game. You wish, Logan and Heath, two of the guys that play quite a bit, they miss spring. And for young guys, you guys may not remember, but Creed Humphrey, as good as he was, missed the spring, his redshirt freshman going into a sophomore year. And, he's the only guy I've ever coached that I really felt like he could, leave after 2 years. And then, it hurt him. When you're not practicing, as good of a guy as Creed Humphrey is, not getting those reps hurts, but they're both getting better. It's been a little inconsistent with both of them. I worked them in slow, just because coming off shoulders as an O-line, you're using your shoulders all the time, force, you're pushing, you're getting pushed on, so this today, I saw a bigger jump in both of them than I have at any point. So hopefully it just continues to get better.
That growth on the interior. What have you seen from Eddie just through the spring, summer, and early camp?
Yeah, he's just getting better. He's a little bit more flexible. He's still got to play with better pad level, better eyes, better hands. But the one thing about Eddie that you love about him, he plays hard. He loves it. He's physical. He's going to go. Now, sometimes he plays out of control. You got to have controlled aggression. It's like everybody just says fire off the ball. Well, I can get anybody to run off the ball, okay? But they're going to miss people because things are going right and left and up the field and, twists and all that. So you got to play under control, too, with your eyes up, bow your neck, hands tight, don't lead with your head. So those are the things, I love the aggression and all that, but just playing with better eyes, hands, and feet is what he's got to do.
Bill, what are you seeing from Troy Everett as a leader and then also just physically in his performances? Yeah,
great leader. He's always been a great leader, man. Loves to play football. He is the unquestioned leader of the offensive line. Fabecchi's really stepping up. And Fabecchi's playing as good as he's played since he's been here. But Troy's bigger now. I don't know exact weight today, but he came into camp at about 314, 315. So that's a big thing for him. He's got more strength. So, and again, he's got to get better, but he's playing as good as he's played since he's been here.
What about Simmons kind of brought to this group, and how's that transition going?
Yeah, really, really good, really good. You don't know. The only game I saw him play was NC State, where there's kind of comparable competition, and he did really well. But then other than that, and I'm not dogging on anybody, but it's not the SEC, so you don't know how he's going to respond to that. But I think it's been great. He's a big, physical, athletic guy, and really smart guy, has really learned the offense. So he's got all the traits and tools. Again, just like everybody else, got to continue to get better, never get satisfied with where you're at. Even if you have a good play, a good day, it's on to the next day.
Bill, what about Jacob Sexton? What kind of progress have you seen?
You know what? I thought he had, the biggest thing with him was his pass set. I thought the first 3 days he was setting as good as I've seen him since he's been here. So he was putting himself in the best position to be successful. It's been a little bit up and down. As an O-line, we had some inconsistencies for a couple days, and then the scrimmage was pretty good on Saturday. Today was a pretty good day. So, again, just not the ups and downs that everybody's had. He's got to continue to get better.
Bill,
Last year, you had some capable bodies, but not a lot that had a lot of experience. Seems like you have more of that this year. How's that kind of showing itself?
Yeah, I really do. I believe, we have good competition for the most part. You know what I mean? And I think, like I said, interior-wise, there's really good competition. I think we've got 6 to 7 guys. Again, I'm not making any predictions that I think we can win with right now. Again, it's 9-10 days into camp. But from what I've seen, the progress and the getting better with all the things that we want to get better at, I've seen it, and again, we got to keep going. You can't ever relax. So, we told them this is the most important week of camp. This is when a lot of teams have a lull. This is where we have to rise and get better every single day. We got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I felt like they did that today. We got to do it again tomorrow. We got to do it again Wednesday. Have a off day with meetings Thursday, practice Friday, Saturday. So we'll see where we are Saturday, but feel good about the progress we've made.
What's been it like working with Ben Arbuckle so far, and what adjustments do you have to make as a position coach?
Love him, man. He's really, really, really good. I've told people this before, and they may not want to hear it. A young Lincoln. He's smart, man. He understands everything. For a young guy, got great command. He knows exactly what he wants everybody to do. It's been really, really good. And then just bouncing ideas, maybe of some things that he hasn't done in the past, protection-wise, run game-wise. And if he likes it, we do it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. That's fine. It's our offense, but ultimately he's the one in charge. But it's been awesome, man. Great dude, great coach, knowledgeable, has great command of the whole offense. It's good, and like I said before, I've told you guys, I've been around a lot of good ones, man. He's as good as I think there is.
What about Kevin Wilson being in the room too? I know he's...
Yeah, no, he's really good. And again, I think from a general, Kevin's one of the best OCs there's been, and just the general overall knowledge of the whole offense. Obviously he's been an O-line guy, he's been a tight end guy, he's been a quarterback guy, he's done it all, and he's got experience, and he's had a lot of success. So from that standpoint, having guys that this is how we've done it, whether it fits or not. You've got options and you got different things and people to lean on, based on scheme or what you're doing. So it's been good.
Bill, John Mateers told us he worked with Troy Everett a little bit during the offseason to understand the offensive line better. What's been that relationship from your perspective about John in the O-line?
It's been great. Like, he was actually, I don't know if he knew what he was in store for when he sat in my meeting, you know what I mean? But he was in, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. So I didn't know he was there, and then kind of get going, look up, and he's sitting there, writing stuff down, listening and all that. But I love John. John's awesome, man. He's, he's a guy that not that you don't want to play for anybody, but, you better step up. This is a guy that's a big-time quarterback like we've had around here, and, you don't want to be the dudes, whatever position it is, to let people down. And that's how it should be anywhere. But when you have a guy like that with the charisma, the swagger, the confidence, the way he plays, you want to step up for him.
Bill, what's it been like for you so far to work with Jim Nagy and the way that process has played out to this point?
I think it's been really good. I've known Jim for I can't even remember how many years. We've had a bunch of guys in the Senior Bowl, and I've known him for a long time, 7-8 years. So I've had a relationship with him going back then, and he would always call and ask about our guys and all that. And not that I know him as good as I do now, but it's been good, man. It's another set of eyes. He's a great evaluator. It allows us to, and again, you're always focused on recruiting and retention and all those things, but it allows us to be more coaches. You know what I mean? We're going to evaluate, we're going to recruit, we're going to do all that stuff, but you got these guys, hey, we want this guy. Cool, I'm going to go recruit him. You know what I mean? And I think it's been good.
Bill, you talked a little bit about having a couple of freshmen like Michael and Ryan, but where have they maybe grown the most from January? And when you have young guys like that, where do you hope to see them improve?
I hate to put unreal expectations on them. You know me, I'm an honest dude. Like, I haven't had, and we've had good players here, really good guys that are all pros. I haven't had anybody like that at that age. Just overall, they aren't afraid. They don't care who they're blocking. Whether Fasusi gets his ass kicked by our Mason or not, he ain't scared. You know what I mean? He's going out there to win. Ryan Fojay is the same exact way. He's going to line up again, and he's going to have confidence, and he's going to learn from that. Both of them just turned 18 3 weeks ago. That's it. They're 18 years old. You know what I mean? So are they going to make mistakes? Certainly they are. You know what I mean? But it's really, at this point, pretty impressive where they are for that age and being here 8 months.
Bill, through 9 practices, how do you feel the offense is doing? Is it where you think it should be?
Do I ever think that? No. I mean, we won the Joe Moore Award, and I thought we sucked. You know what I mean? And that's how it is, man. As a coach, you know, you're never satisfied. You know what I mean? Do I feel good today? Yeah. Do I feel great? No. But if we continue to get better, you know what I mean, then we'll be fine. We've got everything that we need.
Bill, what does your offensive line need to do the next 2 weeks to be ready for game 1?
I think it's just a consistency. You know, again, I think everybody's a little bit different, and I'm not going to go through every individual of what they need to do. It's like the 3 things that we got to get better at this week is communication, all right? And part of that is listening, being focused, all right? Straining to finish better, especially in pass pro. Like, we're in good position, this and that, then we'll get beat late. Well, that can't happen. Okay, because if it takes 6 seconds to throw the ball, it takes 6 seconds. That's what it is, all right? And then leveraging blocks better in the run game, understanding with all the movements and all those things where the play is designed to go in the pass and the run. Whether we're sprinting out, we're dashing, he's setting up in the pocket, he's setting up in the right over the right tackle, all those things, understanding where to put your body based on what the play call is and what the defense is doing.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.